So just start first laying down and come to the here and now. Some of us have long journey to come to the here and now. We had long mornings, maybe even long nights. So send the night to where it belongs and send the hectic morning. And if you need to visit it later, I'm sure it will come back to you. But at this moment and this time, for the next 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes, give yourself the gift of being luxurious with yourself. Just really selfish. Paying attention to things that usually we don't have the time, the energy, and the whereabouts to pay attention to. So as you are either sitting in the chair or laying down, take an inhale to the depth that you can right now and let it go. And when you let it go, see if you can let the muscle just drop one by one as you exhale into the surface that you are on. And do it again. Just inhale and notice how deep your breath is or how shallow it is. And if you're expanding only in one direction or more. And then when you exhale, allow layer after layer from the skin inside into the body to give weight and let gravity win. Don't fight gravity. Isn't that a concept? Are you holding your toes? Are you holding your ankles? Are you holding the neck muscles? Are you holding your shoulders? Are you holding your jaw? What is it? Where is it in your body that you are not allowing gravity to win? So take another deep inhale. And from the surface of the body, deeper and deeper and deeper as you exhale. Find the surface and melt into it. And now that we're all in here, scoot closer to the wall. Have the left foot stand on the mat or on the chair and let the right foot stand on the wall or on the back of the chair. And start pressing the right foot into the back of the chair or into the wall and feel how it pushes your back up. Or if you're sitting on the chair, the hip, the pelvis. So you're pressing the foot into the chair, into the back of the chair, and you feel how it's climbing up, or on the floor, all the way into up the spine. All the way up to the wall. All the way, 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 all the way. One more. And then to me. Okay, and now. Okay. Okay, there you go. So you're pressing in. And release. And you're pressing in. Let me get it a little closer. Let me get the chair a little closer. Okay. Press and release. And do it gently so the chair that won't slide, and feel how it's sliding up your body. Yes. Unless we do it against the wall, but just feel it for right now. And now change the angle of the foot a little bit. Maybe get your toes to between, if the up towards the ceiling is 12, move it a little bit towards 1 and keep on pushing and releasing. But the push is like very gentle. It's like grams. It's not like pounds. Just to feel how it transmits the weight into the rest of your body. And as your toes are a little bit out, see if it changes the way that it moves. And then move the toes towards number 11. So you have like a little pigeon toe. And do the same thing. And move the toes back to number 12. And move the foot down a little bit or up a little bit. And inquire which one feels like it moves all the way to the top of your head. Where do you have to put your foot to get a clear connection between the bottom of you to the top of you? Every step that you take, it needs to go all the way from the foot to the top of the head. If it's too high, it may stop in the hip. If it's too low, it may stop in the knee. It needs to be just so, not too hot, not too cold. Where is it yours? And rest for a minute in this position. And lift your toes off the wall. So it's only your heel and your metatarsal on the wall. And push. And let go. And push. And let go. How does that affect it? What are you using more? What are you using less? And let the toes back onto the floor, to the wall, sorry. And use the toes as well. And now let the heel hover. So you don't have to lift it like you're a ballerina, just hover it, just like maybe 1/16 of an inch off the floor, like touching, not touching the wall. And press with your metatarsal. Some of us have our weight fall forward in our feet. What does it create? Where do you feel it? Does it change anything in the way that it moves up your back? And put the heel back down and use the heel, the metatarsals and the toes, and let go. And see if you can travel all the way from your foot to the top of your head. Are your eyes moving on the ceiling? Is your nose traveling somewhat, just a little bit? Are your eyes going down and towards the knee that's up on the wall? Or are your eyes moving down and away? Let's play with that. The next time that you push with the heel, metatarsal and the toes, Allow the eyes to go down and towards the knee that's on the wall. And the next time that you press, allow the eyes to go down and away from the knee. Which configuration feels like it's going to be more conducive for your stability? And let that go and move your leg down into the floor and scoot yourself up on the mat and lie down for a minute with your legs straight. Let go the feet, let go the calf muscles, let go the knees, the thigh, the pelvis. And notice what the right leg feels like versus the left. Notice what your right side of your torso feels like in comparative to the left. Is it more open? Is it more relaxed? And let's roll to the side, and from the side come up to sitting. And from sitting, we're going to come up to standing.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done, yes. Use the chairs. Take your time.
You want a hand? No, I can't do it. Sorry? Let me try you. You are the pad.
Very good. Now let me put the chair open. Good.
Oh,
Excellent.
that's it.
Bring the knee a little closer.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So now we're going to stand facing the wall. And just notice how the right leg stands, how the left leg stands. How does the foot feels underneath? Does the right leg feels a little bit longer than the left? And put your hands on the wall in front of you. So you're standing with your hands on the wall, the right leg is in front of the left. You're allowing the weight to go into the wall, and the weight goes into the right foot and back. And again, you're going into the wall with your whole body, and the weight goes into the right foot and into the knee bands, and you come back. And find out how close to the wall you need to be to feel the transfer of weight and the coming back. So when you come back, your hands are almost touching the wall. And when you bend, your elbows bend, and your forehead gets closer to the wall. And it seems really simple, but let's start going, kind of comparing what we're doing now to what we did when we lay down. When the weight goes into the right foot, can you feel the weight going into the bones of the lower leg, into the knee, into the thigh, into the hip? What happens if you lift your toes? What kind of stress do you feel in your foot? So let's put the toes down. Bend forward and lift the heel a little bit. Hover the right heel off the ground. And when you go forward, play with your eyes, going towards the knee and going away from the knee. Which one gives you a better sense inside your body? And even if it feels like I'm talking about something you have no clue about, try it and see, maybe you will feel something and maybe not. And lean again towards the wall. And now let the heel come off the floor. Put the heel back down and push back. And push forward, allow the heel to come off and push with the heel back. So allow the heel to come off the floor and into the floor. And off the floor and into the floor. And play with it. Into the floor. The right heel comes off the floor, and when you come back, and some of you may have too big of a step. Try a smaller step. And do the same thing, but not lifting the right heel, but allowing the left heel to come off. And feel how the weight goes from the heel of the right foot towards the toes. Is it a straight line? Or are you going to the side first? And stop for a minute and look at me for a second. So stand for a second. And so as we're working now with the left leg, getting us to go over the right foot, see if you can come from the center of the heel towards the side of the foot and then forward towards the center. Again, from the heel, coming to the side, to the cuboid bone, and out through the center. So even if the foot doesn't want to do it right now, see if you can imagine it doing it. So we're standing with the right leg in front of the left. Try not to have like a huge step. It's not an exercise. It's finding out how to transfer the weight by lifting the left heel and putting more weight on the right side from heel to toes with that line that I drew on my foot. And if you're sitting, then your left leg will be in the back, and you're going to go from heel, side, toe. Heel, side, toe. Tiny, tiny, small and gentle. Try to see if you can come back with the toes a little bit.
Do what?
Lift them. Okay. No, don't lift them. So it's not an exercise. It's you're lifting the heel of the left leg and you're just finding the weight going out to the right.
Okay.
And then you come back.
Okay.
So it's the body weight going over the right leg to find that line that takes us forward.
Right.
If you tend to work fast, slow it down. If you are super slow, see if you can fast it up a little bit and still keep it. Relax the toes. The toes are not working. The right foot is not lifting off the floor whatsoever. The right toes, the right foot is not lifting. You're way too far from the wall, Julia. Come closer. Oh. It's this much of shifting weight, the length of your foot.
Okay.
Lift the heel, find the heel of the right foot, find the outside of the right foot
Mm-hmm.
and find the center of the toes.
Mm-hmm.
And then come back and do it again. And the right toe is not lifting. Nothing is lifting. You're just finding the transfer of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Now relax. So brain says to the toes, relax. And then it goes forward and the toes have a job maybe to catch the weight. And then you just, the body comes back, the whole body comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole body goes over the leg, foot.
Mm-hmm.
We're very quick to go to what we already know and to go into, oh, I'm doing it right, I'm succeeding, I'm moving. See if you can change, like if you're working fast, work it slow. If you are trying to go all the way to the end and make it an exercise, try to get out of that mode. See if you can find something new that your body doesn't know yet that can make it work a little bit more efficient or include more parts of your body. Excellent. Good. And start walking in the room a little bit and see how this foot is operating now, transferring weight. Try it out for me.
Hmm?
Try it.
Even without the balance? Because it's gonna wreck up my
Yeah,
back.
okay. Yeah, okay. Notice what your eyes are doing. Are they going towards the knee that's forward, or are they going away from the knee that's forward? Think about only the right knee, because we work with the right leg.
Be like you and no negative thoughts. Just be you. It's a good thing, okay?
Okay. Shall we do the left side?
Yeah, let's do.
Can you feel the difference between the sides?
Yeah. Very much so.
Okay. So, back down to the floor or to the chair. We're going to do the other side. So now the right leg, the toes are touching on the mat, but very close to the wall. The left foot is on the wall.
You want it in front of you like the one?
No. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
You can do it in sitting just as well, pushing into and coming back. And the whole idea is to find the wall or the surface that the left foot is on is giving us a feedback, and we're pushing up as high as we can. So even if you're using the floor on the chair, you will feel it going up your leg and into the hip, at least to the pelvis. We can feel it a little bit more, a lot more. We can feel it all the way to the top of the head if we have the left leg in the right position. So we're going to start by just pushing and finding out what's moving, what's not moving. Do you feel areas in your body that's not transmitting that push? And don't be judgmental towards it, just notice it. And then move the toes a little bit towards number 11. So you're a little bit like Charlie Chaplin. And keep on pushing and see if that changes. And concentrate on one area more than the other. If this is the way you walk, that's what's going to happen to the pelvis or to your lumbar. So, all those aches and pains and the generation that we have many times has to do with long life habits that over time manifest in deterioration of areas, overuse of areas, and now move the toes inward a little bit, like pigeon toe, and see what that does. Where does that create more stress? How does that transmit the movement? How much information can you gather from this kind of pushing? And back into toes forward. And press on the outside of the heel, which we didn't do on the right side. And I can sense that it goes into the front of my belly rather than to my back. And let's press the inside of the heel. And center. And lift the toes and see what happens then. And relax the toes and use the whole foot. And lift the foot a little bit higher and see if this makes it better or worse. And lower it below the height of the knee. And go back to where you feel that it's the optimum, where you feel that it goes up your spine the most efficient way. And let's try another two possibilities. Bring the leg a little bit, the foot a little bit closer to the midline, a little closer to the right leg. And see what happens then. And bring it back to where you feel this the right place for you. And continue. And then take it further out. And see if you can transmit all the way up the spine. Or does it stop? And where does it stop? And bring it back into where you feel that this is the best place for you. And start imagining that trajectory from the center of the heel to the outside of the foot into the toes. And let go. And center of the heel to the outside of the foot to the toes. And heel outside of the foot and center of the toes. And start incorporating the eyes moving down and do a few times the eyes going towards the knee and few times away from the knee, and see which one makes more sense to you. Wonderful. And let go the leg. Scoot up on the mat. Roll to the side. Come up to sitting. And from sitting to standing. Facing the wall. The left foot will be in front, the right leg will be in the back. The hands will be on the wall, and we're going to go from the heel to the toes. As you go from the heel to the outside of the foot, the right heel would lift off the floor. But your attention is to the way that you shift your hip weight forward over the left leg, the bending of the knee, and the weight going over the foot. The fact that the right heel lifts off the floor, it's just a byproduct. That's not what you're paying attention to. The toes are not lifting off the floor. The left foot is completely relaxed on the floor. You're only working on your way too far again. Go forward. Go forward. Your way too far. There we go. Okay. You just want to work on the shifting of the weight. The toes are not.
Yeah, I think it helps when you step on them.
So the hip is going straight forward, and it goes straight back. So you need to bend the knee. It's the knee that takes the hip forward. And the leg straighten and the hip goes back. So we're not playing peacock. We're not taking our hip backwards right now. We're just working with a shift of weight on the foot with the bend of the knee. Good. And stand with both legs straight and the hands on the wall. And bend both knees and take the pelvis forward. And the weight goes towards the toes. and back into the outside of both feet, and back into the heel, the center of the heel. And from the center of the heel to the outside of the feet and into the center of the toes. And pushing with your hands very, very lightly to push away from the center of the toes to the outside of the feet to the center of the heels. And relax the knees and go from the heel into the outside of the feet. Bend the knees to go into the front of the toes. And push a little bit on the wall to come from the toes to the outside of the feet into the center of the heel. And again, from the heel, take the pelvis with you. Go to the outside of the toes, bend the knees, soften them, and come to the toes, to the center of the foot. Notice what the left is doing, what the right is doing. Press with your hands into the wall, and very gently from the center of the toes, find the outside of the foot, the cupid bone, and into the center of the heel. And you're standing with your pelvis on top of your legs. The toes are soft, relaxed. And again, from the center of the heel, very gently, relax the knees and come to the outside of the feet. And then gently start moving forward to the center of your toes. And press with your hand, and now start working with the eyes. This very gently go down a little bit when your hip is standing with your on top of your thighs. And as you bend the knees and come forward, the eyes will come a little bit higher to the horizon. And you have a very slight movement in your neck. Your chin is coming down a little bit. Your eyes are coming down as you're standing with your pelvis on top of the legs. And when you come forward, the eyes are coming up a little bit. And see if you can work it very gently. As if the legs are the same place, the legs are in the same place. They're both in the same place. Parallel. You're going forward with both of them, and you're coming back. Do it with your shoes. Okay. The feet are parallel. Feet are parallel.
Mm-hmm.
The feet are parallel, and both of them you're going forward, and you're coming back. And how much of your eyes can go a little bit below the horizon and a little bit above the horizon, depending on what you're doing, and gently leave the wall and start walking in the room, noticing if you can incorporate that softness Are your eyes going towards the knee that's in front?